In this video, we're going to find amounts given in a percent and a whole, but we're going to be given application problems. Find the indicated amounts, round your final answer to 2 decimal places as needed. We can use our calculator, but we're going to write down what we put in the calculator. So we're going to show our work. So, Joey is taking a road trip from New York to Washington, D.C. The trip is 226 miles. So far, he has driven 43% of the trip. Now here's our question. How many miles has Joey driven so far? And we want to write our answer as a complete sentence. Okay, so notice what we're finding is that the whole trip is 226 miles. So the trip is 226 miles. And it says he has driven 43% of the trip. 43% of the trip. Okay. So again, remember, it's easy to determine what the percent is because it'll have a percent sign or the question will ask what percent. Okay. And the whole can be trickier, but notice it says 43% of the trip, where the trip is referring to the 226 miles. Okay, so to find this amount, we want to find 43% of 226 miles. Okay, so we know this is our percent, this is our whole, and we're looking for the corresponding amount. Okay, so just to make an estimate at first, this is less than 50%, so it'll be less than half of these miles, 113 miles. So it's nice to get a approximation before you start. So take the whole, 226, multiply by 43 over 100 for 43%. Now 226 times 43 divided by 100, and we get 97.18 miles. Exactly, so I'll write equals 97.18. Okay, so as a complete sentence, Joey has driven 97.18 miles. Okay, put that in a little box. Okay. Next we're asked, how many miles does Joey have left to travel? Well, we know the total trip is 226 miles, and he's traveled 97.18. So we can find how many he has left by taking the whole number of miles, subtracting what he's already driven, and that will give us what he has left. So we have 226 minus 97.18 equals 128.82 miles. Now we're asked, what percent of miles does Joey have left to travel? Okay, so we have two options here, and we're actually going to do both just to verify our result. Okay. Well, we know how many miles he has left to travel, so we could find the percent because it asked us to find the percent. So the part he has left to travel, the amount over the whole, which is 226 miles, we'll multiply this by 100% to find the percent. So I had that in there already. I'll divide by 226 and multiply by 100, and we get 57%. Okay. So this was kind of the hard way to do it. So notice he's driven 43% of the trip. So the whole trip is 100% of the trip. So what remains will be the difference between the whole trip, the amount he's driven, gives us 57%. Okay, So you can solve this in either way. It's good to know both ways, but I want you to make this connection between these two representations. Let's look at the next one. Erica went shopping in Tempe and spent $213.53 on new work clothes. The sales tax rate in Tempe is 8.1%. And now we are asked, how much tax will Erica have to pay? Write your answer as a complete sentence. Okay. So notice it says the sales tax rate in Tempe is 8.1%. Okay, and that means it's 8.1% of the purchase price. Okay, so a percent is always talking about a percent of something. So we usually say sales tax rate, so the tax rate is referring to the cost of your purchase. Okay, so the sales tax will be 8.1% of her purchase of $213.53. Okay, so see, we know the percent. We know that this is the whole because it's what we have a percent of. So we're finding the amount, which is a tax. So we'll take the whole, multiply by the percent over 100. So 213.53 times 8.1 divided by 100. And we get $17, and we'll round that up, and 30 cents. So this is 5 or greater, so round this up to 30. So write approximately $17.30. So as a complete sentence, we'll write Erica will pay $17.30 in tax. Okay. Now we're asked for the total cost of her purchase including tax. Well, the total cost is going to be the items she bought. So that cost plus the cost of the tax. So this is how much she spent. We'll call this the price plus the tax is the total cost. So 21,213, 0.53 plus 17.3 gives us $230.83. And the last question asks us, what percent is the total cost? So highlight this. What percent is the total cost of our purchase compared to the total cost without tax? Okay, so we're asked to find a percent. And again, there's a easier and a harder way to do this, but doing both will help us connect the ideas. And notice the language is to language, the total cost of her purchase, which was $230.83, to the total cost without tax, which was $213.53, so that's our ratio. And to write this as a percent, we'll find this ratio and we multiply it by 100%. Okay. So 230.83 divided by 213.53 times 100. And to 2 decimal places, this is 108.1%. Okay, so notice how this connects to the tax rate. So the regular cost, the price, was 100% of the price. Okay, the tax was 8.1% of the price. Okay, all of this is referring to this price. We add those up and we get 108.1%. So the total cost is 108.1% of the original price. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Ahmed, when shopping for a tablet, the regular price was listed as $370. The store was having a 20% off sale. Okay, so that's our given information. Then we're asked, how much will Ahmed save because of the sale? Write your answer as a complete sentence. Okay, so let's look for our indicators so we know it's 20% off sale. Okay, and remember that 20% off is different than 20% of. Okay, so he's not paying 20% of this price, they're taking 20% off this price. So we want to make sure we write that. And the regular price is listed as $370. Okay. So he will save, okay, so the regular price is our whole amount, our initial amount, okay, and he will save 20% of $370. So 20% of $370 is the savings. Okay, and notice again that this is the savings, it's not the cost of the tablet. Okay, so we need to find 20% of 370, so we'll take our whole, multiply by 20%, written as 20 over 100. So 370 times 20 divided by 100 gives us 74. Okay, and we'll write as a complete sentence, Ahmed will save $74 because of the sale. Okay. Now it says, what is the reduced price of the tablet after the discount? Okay, well, the regular price was $370. We're going to take off the discount of $74. Okay, and if I subtract 74 from 370, I will get 296. Okay, so now this is the reduced price. This is what he pays for the tablet. Okay. Now we're asked, what percent is the reduced price of his purchase compared to the original price? Okay, so now we're asked to find a percent, and the comparison is the reduced price. It uses this to language, so the original price goes in the denominator, which is $370, and we want this ratio as a percent, because it asks for what percent. So I'm going to multiply by 100%, and we have 296 divided by 370 times 100. And notice it is 80%. Okay. So the reduced price of his purchase is 80% of the original price. Okay. So when a store is having a 20% off sale, another way they could say this, which they never do, is that you would have to pay 80% of the price. So 20% off is 80% of the price.